You know someone like this. They don't explode, they don't argue, they don't send the long emotional texts at midnight. When things get to be too much, they just go quiet. They pull back, they stop responding, they disappear into themselves for days, sometimes weeks, and come out the other side looking almost fine. And you're watching them thinking, is that healthy, or is that just a really sophisticated way of shutting down? Here's what nobody tells you. Going quiet when you're overwhelmed is one of the most misunderstood responses in all of psychology. Most people assume it means a person is avoidant, emotionally unavailable, cold. But what's actually happening inside that nervous system is something completely different. Dr. Stephen Porges, a neuroscientist at the University of North Carolina, developed something called Polyvagal Theory. He found that the human nervous system doesn't just have two modes, fight or flight. It has a third, called the dorsal vagal response, and it kicks in specifically when a person has been overstimulated for too long. Too much noise, too much conflict, too many people needing things from them all at once. When that happens, the nervous system doesn't escalate, it conserves. It goes still. Not because a person doesn't care, because their body has learned that stillness is the only thing that actually resets them. Think of it like a phone that overheated. It doesn't keep running hot. It shuts down to protect the processor. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Research from the University of Rochester found that people who withdraw to regulate emotion actually show greater long-term emotional resilience than people who externalize. The quiet ones aren't suppressing, they're processing, deeply and privately. But society has decided that loudness means health, talking it out means healing, going quiet means something's wrong. So the person who goes still gets labeled as closed off, when in truth, they're doing something incredibly intentional. They are refusing to perform their pain for an audience. There's a difference between isolation and solitude. Isolation is being alone and wishing you weren't. Solitude is choosing space because you know that's where you come back to yourself. If you're someone who goes quiet, who needs to disappear for a little while to feel whole again, there is nothing broken in you. Your nervous system is doing exactly what it was designed to do. The only thing worth examining is this. Are you coming back? Are you withdrawing to refuel or withdrawing to avoid? One is a healthy rhythm. The other is a wall slowly becoming permanent. If it's the first one, that quiet is your sanctuary. Protect it. You don't owe anyone a live broadcast of how you cope. And if it's the second, that's not a judgment. That's just an invitation to let one person, maybe just one, sit in the silence with you. Because the strongest version of you doesn't need to go it alone every single time. They just need to be selective about who gets to stay when the noise stops. Drop a comment. Tell me, are you someone who goes quiet? I read every single one.